Okay, so I was kind of doing some tests and getting some footage and prepping for this episode, and when I went to start the game, this happened. Oh! Yeah, so if you start the game, there is a rare chance that an alternate animation will play, and for this one, Banjo just gets flung through the window for some reason. It startled me. It actually startled me. I was just like, holy crap, okay. I wasn't expecting for it to happen this early on in the series, but it did! Surprise, surprise. Anyway, hey guys, MasaeAnela here, and welcome back to another episode of Banjo-Kazooie! In the last episode, we got ourselves a bunch of our basic actions, actually. We learned how to play the game, essentially. It was a very fun tutorial, which I don't often say about games. But in this episode, we're going to be getting into the meat of things and starting Mumbo's Mountain. Hopefully, Banjo doesn't have any broken bones from his jarring experience. Talk about waking up on the wrong side of the bed. Anyway, as Bottles is saying here, he does have some new moves for us to learn, but we have to find him first. He's not terribly difficult to find, especially here in this first world, so don't sweat it too much. If we don't need health, we don't need to pick up these honeycomb pieces. They're gonna just stay there forever. It's no big deal. Just leave them if you don't need them. So are you ready for some information overload? Here we go. I'm a note, 1 of 100 on each world. Collect us to open the note doors, which we'll have to get into a little bit later. Here is a Mumbo token. Mumbo's token used for Mumbo magic, which again, we'll get into a little bit later. But here's something that is immediately relevant. Yippee, you saved me. Gruntilda has imprisoned 5 of us Jinjos on each world. Free us all to get a Jiggy. So, each world has 10 Jiggies, and the Jinjos are one of them. Well, not them specifically, but you get one for rescuing the Jinjos, and it's pretty neat. I actually really like Jinjos. I have always thought that they are just the cutest things. They are adorable to me. I'm not sure why, because they're very basic in their design, but they just kind of work, you know? So, Bottles chimes in here. Things a bit slippy, huh? Find me and I'll teach you how to get up steep slopes. So we'll have to keep an eye out for them. So, on another note, because music notes. On another note, these notes are actually the reason why I have decided to play the Xbox version of this game. It's kind of... I know that a lot of people will probably argue and say like, oh, this is a part of the experience. This is what makes Banjo-Kazooie. But if you play the N64 version and you collect the notes, you have to get all of them in a single run. So 100 notes in one sitting. You can't leave the world, you can't turn off the game, and you can't die. If any of those things happen, then you're gonna have to collect all of those notes over again, which would completely suck, considering I'm making a video series. I'm really just not into the idea of keeping track of which ones I have collected and which ones I have skipped and which ones I still need in case I do actually have problems on some of the later levels, which I guarantee you will happen. Go away, leave me and my honeycombs alone. No! Juicy honey! I kind of feel like a jerk for that. He's just minding his own business, and here I am, killing him and stealing his essence. So yeah, this is the primary reason. There's a few different reasons, like the graphics are a bit better for making videos, etc., but the primary reason why I wanted to do the Xbox version is the note situation, and it would just make things a lot easier on me to not have to worry about that. Like I said, I do understand that a lot of people do feel like that's what makes Banjo-Kazooie Banjo-Kazooie, and I get that. The whole you gotta sit in one sitting will help you progress through the witch's lair. Yeah, everything is alive in this game, by the way, including inanimate objects. But yeah, just specifically for making videos, this is just gonna make my life a lot easier. A lot easier and a lot better and a lot less boring for you guys. And on that note, I'm saying note a lot, and it's throwing me off because I just keep thinking about the actual note, and I'm not trying to make jokes, but the jokes just happen, okay? They fall into my lap and then I use them. But the way that we're going to be handling them is that we're going to be collecting as many notes as we possibly can on our first run through the stages slash worlds slash areas. And if I do miss any, then we'll go through after I have gotten all of the jiggies and try to find them after the fact. I don't predict that to be a very common problem, but you know how it goes. Sometimes you just have that one note or one thing that you cannot find, and it takes forever to actually find it. So we'll worry about that when it actually happens. But for now, I'm just gonna be casually going through and trying to make my way and collecting them as I go along. Time for the buzzer to learn the ancient ways of the egg. I'm listening, beetle breath. Hold the right or left trigger, then press Y to shoot an egg out of your mouth. Hey, sounds cool. Anything else? Sure, press B instead, and you can shoot them out from behind. B for behind, or rather butt. I wish I'd never asked. Bird Brain can carry 100 eggs in her backpack. Oh, and you can also use the left stick to aim while you are crouching. Exciting, huh? Ha 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 ha. Now use what you learned to use these. Now that you learned to use these eggs, here's 50 to start with, which is very generous. Actually, that's pretty awesome. Also, I like how Kazooie gets all bent out of shape about, like, the thought of pooping out these eggs, because that's the natural side it comes out from, and not her mouth. It comes out the other end. Oh, shoot. Frick. Conga, good shot. It naturally comes out of her butt and not her mouth, you know? I don't know. Biologically, this makes a lot more sense. I think he actually has some invincibility frames, which is unfortunate, but he's dead now. Well, not dead, but defeated. Bear beat Conga. Me give prize to Bear. Yes, thank you for spewing gold out of your pores. Gimme. Oh? So yeah, Jiggies are very, very... Hey, I have already defeated you. Maybe don't toss oranges at me. So yeah, Jiggies, especially in this first world, are very prevalent, and they do not take that long to get. Some of the later ones might take a little bit longer, so a lot of these worlds will probably end up having to be split in half, but I think we're on good track for now. We have this here. We can't do anything about it yet, but we're gonna go and grab something that will enable us to take care of that. Maybe not up there. Hello, camera. Camera, work with me, camera. Maybe, possibly. Yes, please. Thank you. It keeps wanting to focus on the monkey because I was in that area. Here we go. Grab all of these notes. There we go. And you know, I said that we'd take care of that button right now, but I feel like doing this first. Hello, it's time for probably the most useful move in the entire game. The Talon Trot will let Kazooie tackle steep slopes with ease. And that sounds useful. How does she do it? Hold the right trigger, then press the left trigger. Continue to hold the right or left trigger while moving Kazooie around with the left stick. Go practice. Your energy is a little low. I'll fill it up for you. Yeah, that's pretty nice. If you talk to Bottles and learn your thing with low health, then he'll just heal you, which is nice. Yes, I got it. I did not need this review. So, arguably one of the most useful moves in the game because you actually move pretty fast. I hope you don't mind the constant sounds that Kazooie makes because you're gonna be hearing that a lot. Banjo has gotten downgraded to passenger. Wait, he's just a passenger now. He is in shotgun seat, and Kazooie has taken the driver's seat. There's a Mumbo token down there. I think there's 5 in this level, so we need to go and get that. Got the orange Jinjo and the Mumbo token. So that's 3 out of 5 for that, and also I think 3 out of 5 for the Jinjos too, which, I mean, I guess we're on track. So we're gonna grab all these notes. Yippee, you've collected enough notes to break the first note door spell. I like how you're encouraged to like leave this area as soon as you have enough notes. It's like, ah yes, collect everything, but never mind. Go and leave everything behind. Everything's fine. Alright, there we go. So we got all that. We're gonna have to come back this way for the switch in just a moment. I see that Jiggy off in the distance. I see that Jiggy. So just for the sake of making a note of this, we can't actually do anything in here. Hey, Ugly! No bears allowed in Ticker's Tower. Ticker's Tower? Really? Is that what it's called? Oh, there's another Mumbo token. So yeah, no bears allowed. And this is actually too steep for Kazooie to stand on. So we can't do that quite yet, but we'll get back to that in just a sec. Hello! It's another molehill. I call this the Beak Buster. Jump into the air and press the right or left trigger to send Kazooie slamming hard down to the floor. I don't like the sound of that, Banjo. Get used to it, Nest Girl. You'll be using it a lot. That can't be great for beak health. Whoa, Banjo, there's nothing more I can teach you in this world. Which is pretty nice, actually. That went pretty fast. This building we'll get to in a moment. You can probably guess what that's going to be. But, Beak Buster! Her face is just gonna be destroyed by the end of this adventure. Just saying. Poor Kazooie is not gonna be very happy. So we got eggs in this one. Hello. Please don't, please leave me alone. Kazooie just needs her egg! That's what you get. How dare you keep me from my unfertilized egg? I assume they're unfertilized because otherwise that would be slightly sad. I like how I killed one and then it immediately spawned another one. Here is the last Jinjo! Yeah! So they just immediately spew out a Jiggy as soon as you find the Jinjo, so that's kind of nice. Here is an extra life. And here we go. Yes! Another Jiggy! Once again, they are just throwing these at you like nobody's business. Here we go. We Juju Mumbo's totem pole. Feed us with nice blue stones. I mean, these aren't exactly stones, but maybe it'll come in handy. Does this suffice? Okay, so you want to leave this last one alone. This is an easy mistake to make your first time through, but if you leave this one alone, you can jump up and get that honeycomb piece. And then we get a Jiggy. Yeah. Speaking of raining Jiggies, here is another one in the eye of Mumbo. And now, head inside and we get to meet the man himself. Hello, Mumbo. Me Mumbo, best shaman in all game, can't help Banjo and Filthy Feathered One. Watch it, Hut Boy. Mumbo's magic tokens hid by which find tokens and Mumbo help you. Ha! Banjo has plenty tokens. Stand on skull and press X to see mighty Mumbo magic. Okay, well, that's all well and good. That is an A+ idea, except I forgot about something. Guess what Masae had almost forgotten? I forgot about the switch that I specifically came here to get the move to go and do. So, we're gonna take care of that before hitting the Mumbo thing. Here we go. At least we have Kazooie now, so it doesn't take quite as long to walk from place to place. It's nice. Slash, we can just like go up the side of the mountain, and it's not that big of a deal. But here we go. My memory did not fail me today, except it did, but only for a little bit. So this is a witch switch. Hit it down and a Jiggy appears outside of the world. These switches usually alter something about the outside world, or rather Gruntilda's lair. So you're gonna want to find each one in every world. There's only one per world, I do believe. So, I mean, and they're usually pretty much in your way, so you don't have to worry about it too much, but just make sure you hit it before you leave. And now, since we've taken care of that, we can actually go and visit Mumbo. Hello, Mumbo! I'm here again! Sorry to interrupt your nap a second time. I like how he just sounds super super cranky. Cranky Mumbo. So, you can come up here. There's usually some amount of resources to get up in this upper area, but you always want to check it because sometimes there's important things up in that area. So just make sure you explore before you turn into whatever it is that you're going to be turning into. In which case, this time, it's a termite. Or ant. It's a termite, but I always want to call it an ant. Mumbo's magic, free to change back. You something. I missed it. Termite bit small, but not bad for first spell. Mumbo practice needed. So we spent all of our Mumbo tokens. There's more than enough Mumbo tokens in the game to support you through the adventure, so you don't have to worry about getting every single one. I'm gonna be going for them just to point out where they are because, you know, I like to be helpful and I like to show you guys where to get the things. So just keep that in mind as we're collecting the Mumbo tokens, that you don't particularly need to get every single one. I just want to. At least I hope that I'll get them. Honestly, sometimes it's hard to keep track of where they are. So, fingers crossed that I'm not a liar and I end up skipping a bunch of them. But regardless, even if I do miss one or two, we're gonna have way more than enough to continue through the game. Also, head in here. And, hey, where did you get those shorts? I want them. It's kind of interesting to me that they're aggressive against Banjo and Kazooie because, you know, they're different species, and it's like, an intruder! An intruder is here. How dare you infiltrate our area? I find that really interesting, but, like, I love how the reason why they're aggressive here when we're a termite like them is just that they're jealous of your stuff, and they're like, hey, you're not allowed to have that because I want it. So it still makes sense for them to damage you. It's funny to me. I am amused by interesting things. Okay, here we go. Jump up here and out. Please do not fall down. There we go. Got another extra life. Head on up. And we got ourselves another Jiggy! Which makes 10. Yeah! We did it! We did it! Look at me putting my little legs in the air. So yeah, that jingle means that we have found everything in this world that we can possibly collect. So if you hear that, then you're done. You can move on with your life, go to other areas, explore other things, etc, etc, etc. But before we turn back into the Barren Bird, we do need to get that Jiggy that appeared outside. So, we want to leave as a termite, and then we can head up here. You cannot come up here as Kazooie. I mean, maybe you can, but it would take a lot of trickery and, like, I don't know, messing with clipping to actually get up here, which I don't know how to do. I honestly don't know if it's possible or not, but the actual way you're supposed to get that Jiggy is by coming out there as a termite and collecting it that way. Also, speaking of termite, can we just talk about this little voice? That's just really cute to me. I don't know why. It is that little woo, woo, yee. It's really adorable. It's an interesting transformation. Like, out of any animal that they could have done, I would not have thought of a termite. But it makes sense for, like, the first transformation to be something kind of underwhelming. I don't know. I appreciate this transformation, even though it doesn't particularly do anything except make you super stick to the sides of walls. Alright, well, there we go. We have done it. Mumbo's Mountain has been defeated within one episode, which is kind of nuts. Again, we're probably not going to be keeping up this pace. There are levels that take a while, and we are absolutely not going to be shooting for one world per video. We're gonna take our time, do as much of a world as we can, but I am expecting these episodes to be a little bit on the shorter side because the pacing is definitely lends itself a little bit better to less long episodes. Shut up, Gruntilda. When you open a world door, baddies escape and roam once more. Ha 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 ha. I see what you're doing with those rhymes. Anyway, with that being said, Mumbo's Mountain has been conquered, and with that, we're going to save the exploration of Gruntilda's lair for the next episode. So, I will see you guys then. MasaeAnela out.